Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Casa Podcast. It's your boy Kojo in the building, and I'm still underrated. Last week we got started with our underrated series, and Ifeanyi came here and she destroyed my show. She came and talked about all the TV shows she's seen that everybody hasn't seen, and we're continuing the same way, like we promised last week. We're going to dive into movies. Last week we were going to do movies, music, and everything, but we were not able to get into everything because the show got so exciting and we got stuck on TV shows. So we promised to give you a run back, and we're back. So I have in the studio Chris and Efia. They're going to help me get back into the conversation about underrated stuff. Guys, how are you doing?
We are doing well, I
Chris,
guess.
which one is this?
We are doing. I was waiting for her to respond. Right? She responded for us. So
She
we are.
responded for us.
Yeah, we are all doing well. We
I
are all doing
see.
well.
I see. Now, I'm glad everyone is doing well. How was your week? How was your week, you guys? Where did you guys get in?
Hmm. I had a pretty decent week. I mean, work,
Mhm.
and what did I even get into?
No dance to this week.
Nothing. No. I couldn't make it to dance class today, but I joined a group of people to play a game on Thursday. I was supposed to
Okay.
go for my dance class on Friday.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I actually went out yesterday.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was fun.
Nice, nice, nice. Chris, how was your week?
It was normal, like just a normal week.
Uh-huh.
Nothing fun.
Hey,
Yeah,
are you sure?
I didn't do anything fun
You
aside playing
sure?
video games.
Aside playing video games, what
Yeah,
games do you play?
Mortal Kombat 2K, FIFA. Yeah,
Mortal Kombat, 2K, and FIFA. Are you
yeah.
good at any of them?
I'm pretty good at all of them.
Pretty
Nice, nice.
decent.
We should play sometime. We should play sometime.
I will play always.
He just wants to make it clear that
we, we
you've
should
been
play
killing
sometime.
him
Instead we
over
play
there too.
always.
Oh, he
You
Please.
wants me
see,
to he wants me to say something, but I
I
want to
don't
say
want
Yes,
you to
don't
say
say it.
anything.
Don't
I
say
don't
it.
want you to
Don't
say
say
anything.
it. Don't
I'm not
say it.
trying to get you to say anything.
no,
Okay.
Don't
I'm ready.
say it.
Well, should we throw the challenge out there to the viewers? If you're watching and you play any of these games, 2K, Mortal Kombat, or FIFA, Chris is throwing the challenge. He's ready for a challenge. He wants new people to beat. So if you're up for it, just go to the comment section and just let us know your PSN or your EA name, and then we'll add you and then we'll set up something. The Casa Podcast video game league. Maybe that would take on because if Yaya refused to give Nana the PlayStation he won for winning the
Why
Casa
do you
League.
put words in my when did I say
For a
this?
whole year, you kept saying that the winner of the fantasy league is going to get a
I
PlayStation. You
kept
even put
I
it in the
said it.
back of your room. You were showing us the PlayStation. Now Nana is waiting for his PlayStation.
Nana,
And
I
so
didn't say this. If you're watching the show, I promise I did. I never said this. Kujo was the one
Mm,
that was saying he was gonna give someone
see,
PS5 or whatever.
now they are coming
I
to
did
put
not
things in
say
my
it.
mouth. They are coming to put words in my mouth.
We can go back and watch the whole show again.
Okay. Oh. Now that we're done catching up on the week, let's dive into the show, right? Last week we started talking about underrated movies and TV shows, and we wanted to talk about music. But we started with TV shows and we got stuck. We talked about so many TV shows. We talked about getting into a whole list of movies, right? Underrated movies. And so we're going to dive right in. I'm going to go around the room. We're going to do it just like last week, right? We're going to tell each we're going to talk about the list of shows or TV movies we think are underrated, right? Or were
Mhm.
so rated in their day, but they're so, they're so old that people of today don't know about these movies. So we'll talk about them and we'll tell people, we'll give people a reason to watch these shows. And so let's dive right in. But before we do, Mr. Frost is saying, welcome to the Casa tribe. Mr. Frost, we miss you on the show. You should be in the studio. These days, you've been kicking it back too much. Next week, you should be back. Next week, you have to host a show. And I know you have a few ideas you want to work with. So we're ready for you whenever you're ready. Just jump on and let's go. Maxwell. Maxwell is giving us what? The skull emoji. Max, I hope you're doing well. Um, All right, Rashid is here. Today I will slow my roll. Last week got too exciting. Rashid, please don't slow your roll. Don't slow your roll. Let's go. Let's get excited. Let us know which movies, if you're watching the show live, let us know. Let us know which movies you feel are underrated. Go into the comment section and let's get excited. Rashid, don't slow your roll. Keep it going. Let's run it back. Mr. Frost is saying next week we're lit. Yep, next week you're coming in live and then let's get lit on the show. If Fia has a point, Kujo, you could check the tapes, Casa Podcast VAR. Rashid, you can do the VR for us. And if anybody is watching the show live or on repeat, you can go back and scrap through all the episodes and then just clip it and share with us on our social media platforms. Like you can send it to us on Instagram, you can send it to us on Facebook, you can send it to us on Twitter. Just send us a clip of where I made the claim I was going to give the PlayStation, and whoever finds the clip, I would definitely pay up. But
You pay
I
up so
know,
that you find it.
yeah, whoever finds it and sends it to the Casa Podcast social media handle, I will
Okay.
have no just tag everyone, and I would have no option than to
Okay.
But I never
Okay.
said I was going to. If yeah, what promised the PlayStation. So
Okay.
guys, let's find that tape. Let's go through all the videos. Let's find that, clip it, and let's put it in. Let's go. I'm super excited, guys. Let's get into this one. Let's get into this one. Who do I start with? Ladies first. If yeah, what?
Don't ask me when it comes. Don't start with me, please.
If yeah, what?
Just
Movies, underrated movies. Let's go. Let's go. What movies do you think are underrated? Which movies do you think
before
deserve
I
some more
start,
love?
before I start, let me give a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
I don't
Mhm,
watch movies. I don't even have a TV to start with. The movies
mhm,
I've watched is
mhm.
like I just chanced on them and I watched them. So if I give you my underrated, don't come at me with, oh, this is an old movie. That is what I know.
Okay.
So
Eh,
I'll start with
mm,
one.
okay.
Shawshank's Redemption. I know that's like a 2000 and whatever movie, but
Hey,
yes.
it's 19 something. 2000
Oh,
though.
my bad.
Let me find what year that movie was made. I know it's so old. Mm.
But yeah, that's a one of I have bad memories, so usually I forget a lot of
1994.
things.
The
Yeah, I
movie
forget
was
a lot of
made
movies
before
I
you were born.
watch.
But why should we watch The Shawshank Redemption? What about it? Talk to us. Give us a reason
Oh,
to watch it.
honestly, that's like one of the few movies that I still remember. I don't
Mm,
remember the entire plot, but
mhm,
it was about this man that was sentenced to prison
mhm,
for killing his wife and his wife's lover.
mhm,
Yeah, I think. But he was the only one that knew he didn't do that. Like
mhm,
he didn't kill them. So
mhm,
he was in prison and he found this he was with this man. He helped the warden of the prison, and I think it was with taxes or something. He was an accountant.
mhm,
And then he helped people, balance their books or
mhm,
whatever. And apparently, while he was helping them balance their book, he was taking a charge or taking some part of the money on the side and
mhm.
everything. He created a new identity.
Mhm.
He I'm not going to tell you how he got out of
Yeah,
prison,
it's
but he
it's
got out.
enough. It's like you've said the whole movie. Now people will not go and watch it.
Oh, no, like that is just like the surface, honestly. How it
It
plays out is
is.
really interesting. And the fact that
Mhm,
I still remember, it's really,
mhm.
you should go back and watch it. I
I
barely
am
remember
impressed that the
anything.
first movie you mentioned is a movie that's older than you. I thought you didn't like anything that's 30 plus, but that movie is 29 years old and you're
That's not
still
30
watching it.
plus. That is not
I
even
know,
30.
I know. It's intriguing. That's all
It
I can
actually
say.
means my limit is 29. If it's 30 plus, I will not remember.
I refuse to get into this slugfest with you, but yeah, right. Chrissy Frost is saying the movie where they escape through the sewer. Yeah, that's exactly the movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
thriller, and
Yes, that's the
Rashid is
movie.
saying, I'm yet to watch Shawshank Redemption. Rashid, you're letting even the youngins come and overtake you, bro. You have to watch Shawshank Redemption. It's one of those that it plays a big part in modern pop culture. Like it's part of the conversation. Everybody, it's a movie I think everyone needs to see. Um, Chris, talk to me. Talk to me. Which one do you have for us?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it is underrated. For me, I can say I watch an average of 100 movies a year.
You watch what, 100 movies a day?
A year,
Yeah.
A year? Okay, okay, okay.
because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost every day I watch a new movie when I'm in bed. Like that's what that's what I do to relax.
Mm-hmm. So, which
So
one would be your first underrated one that you think people should see? It
I don't
shouldn't
think.
be
I,
necessarily underrated, but movies you think people haven't
yeah,
seen.
I think Glass Onion, Knives Out.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
I
watched
think you saw
that.
that movie too, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daniel Craig. Daniel
yeah,
Craig was yeah, the detective. That's a good one.
yeah.
It
Uh,
even got a mention last week.
Oh, okay,
But yeah,
okay.
why should people watch it? Tell us about it. Tell us why people should watch it.
I well the plot twist in the movie, the suspense, wanting to know what next
Mm-hmm.
and all that, like who got killed,
Mm-hmm.
why did the person, how and why,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
the movie interesting. Yeah,
It is an interesting movie. I
yeah,
completely agree with you. Glass Onion, I think again, that entire series. Last week I mentioned to Ifya a lot of people know about Glass Onion, but they don't know it's part two of Knives Out. And Knives Out was crazy. My
yeah.
professor invited me to his house for us to watch. And honestly, after we watched the movie, we're sitting there scratching our heads. The Knives Out is like, who did it? Like,
Who did it?
even though we found out who did it, we're not still sure. It's one of those thrillers. Like, if you like thrilling movies that, it's not all about running around. I think Glass Onion happens in
Mm-hmm.
one house, and the
Yes.
same way Knives Out happens in one house, but it takes you on
Mm-hmm.
such an emotional roller coaster, and it tests your intelligence, right? I- I-
Yeah.
a few people watch to the end and know, or you know how, not to throw shade on any kinds of movies, but there's some movies like 2 minutes and you know what's going to happen. You know that this
Yeah.
person is going to do, but this is not one of those. It's like you get to like 30 minutes, like 20 minutes to the end of the show, and you still don't know who you think is the suspect, right? And then they
Mm-hmm.
pull the rug from under you right at the end. Like whoever you thought it was isn't who did
The
it,
little
right?
person. Yeah.
Yeah, Glass Onion is a good one. I think it's highly rated again because what's her name? Janelle Monae looked stunning in that movie, and I think if
She
Yeboah looks like
did.
her. And so yeah, last week I told her, and she's like, "I'll go and find out." Why is Chris
I
laughing? Don't
went
you think
back.
she looks
I
like
went
her?
back to look at her. I don't look anything close to that
Oh,
woman.
okay. There was a
I
there was a
don't.
way there's an outfit she pulled up. I could see if you're wearing that in orange.
No,
Guys,
no, no way.
let me take you guys into my first movie. I don't think it was underrated. I think when it came out, it was great, but a lot of youngins have not seen this, even though we make references to it all the time. It's one of the most mind-boggling movies of all time I have seen, and the title of the movie is Fight Club. We all know that popular phrase, what happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club. Like it's part of pop culture. Like anybody who knows what's up has heard something about the movie, but until you watch it, you don't know just how much of a brain that is. I just censored myself. But yeah, I don't know. Chris, have you seen Fight Club? If you're able, have you seen Fight Club?
um,
No.
maybe
Okay.
I've seen
So
it.
let me tell you the story of Fight Club. Fight Club is about a guy who works at a boring job and decides, he's really bored. He gets on a plane, he's trying to travel, and someone sits next to him and they have a nice conversation. And, the guy, they get to the airport, this guy pulls up in his Ferrari and he drives off. And he leaves his card to this guy who was bored with his work. The guy goes home, and just when he was about to enter his house just goes up in flames. It just explodes. So he has nothing. He traveled, so his stuff is packed in this guy's car. He has friends. He has other things he could have done, but he goes and he calls, you know, the guy on the card, and his whole life starts spinning. Like his life gets more exciting. He stopped. He was so bored that he was going for AA meetings and other kinds of, like, he just goes for these movie recovery meetings, right? Just to
Mhm.
hang out with miserable people so that he feels good about himself, like people who are dying of terminal disease, people who are struggling with addiction and everything. But he stops doing all that and his life gets so exciting. He's doing so many thrilling things. He even starts a militia group. And in the end, there's a plot twist. But the militia group starts with Fight Club. So he designs an underground fight club all across the United States where people after work who are bored would just go and actually get into fist fights, like beat each other up and everything, just to get some of the pent up anger out. Fight Club is ridiculous, but it's the way it messes up your mind in the end. You're like, what did I just watch? Is it this?
I
Is
I
that?
I think I have to watch it.
You really have to watch it. You really have to watch it. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but it's a thrilling movie. Came out in 1999, but it is one that you should see. And if
Oh,
yeah, it's a
please, that's
movie you're
too
old,
old. That's
it,
too old.
coming from the one who talked about Shawshank Redemption, which is 5 years older than mine. Very, very big, very big coming from you. If yeah, but there's a message for you. That Chahin is saying, if yeah, you're looking stunning.
Oh,
If yeah,
thank you.
but
It's been a
always
while
say
that Chihini has been on the show. Where have you been, that Chihini?
that if yeah is saying last week is a long time ago because I know you were on the show
Last
last
week
week,
he
but she didn't
wasn't
see you.
here.
Hey, if yeah, are you sure?
I
This is the
think so.
same reason why you don't remember you promised people a PlayStation. You don't even
What do
remember
you
the
mean?
show, but Dacha Hine was here on he was here last week. But Dacha, if you said she doesn't see more of you, so please make yourself available in the
Please
comment
make
section. Let
yourself
us know.
visible. Comments.
It's by an old black man and it's with a great voice, right?
Yes,
Chrissy
yes,
Frost.
yes. He
How do you
was
not know
impressed.
Morgan Freeman?
He just
How
mentioned his name.
I know, but the way he described it, I'm like, dude. Yeah, it had Morgan Freeman. Send me the details so I'll send you via post. Rashid and Mr. Frost are doing some business dealings on my show. Courage is saying his movie is The Count of Monte Cristo. That's a good one. That is a
That's
good
not a
one.
good one. If you read
That
the
is a
book,
good
the
one.
movie was bad. But well,
Yeah, but not a lot of people have read the book. And funny enough, that was the first book I checked out of the Ashanti library. But yeah,
mm,
if you've not read a book, it's a good movie. I think it's a great story. Yes, the movie doesn't tell you everything, but come on, that's how movies relate with the books, right? The books are a lot better than the movies almost all the time. Very few movies
um,
are better than their books. Um, oh, Uncle Sule, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday. You celebrated your birthday sometime this week, and I hope you're doing well. Hey, I'm late. Did I miss a lot? Sule, you missed quite a bit, but you've not missed too much. Let us know what movies you think are underrated. Just let us know in the comment section. We're going to dive into the second round. Michael is here. Michael, how you doing? I hope you're doing well, brother. 100 movies a year, dude. Are you single? Damn, that's wild. Crazy Frost, Chris, I'll let you answer that.
No, I mean if you watch 2 movies a week,
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. 2 movies a week
a
for
week
the year.
for the
That's
year,
104 movies.
of course.
That's true. And I can do 3 in a day. So hey, it
you
looks like
watch 3 movies a day.
yeah. There's sometime this week I watched 3 movies. I actually watched. Yeah, I watched 3 movies in a day, and I'm going to talk about all of them in the show. So don't worry. Yeah, I can do 3 movies in a day, which
Oh,
is fine. I think it was the 4th of July, right? Yeah. Spend the 4th of July holiday watching a lot of movies. 100 movies, 75 of them are Kuma Wood movies. And oh my god. But
I,
there are a lot of very nice skits coming out of Ghana these days. Like it's getting better. It's getting better. Chris is back. Song is so excited. Song is so excited that Chris is back. And Dachahine is adding on to it. I bet he's single. It's not that serious,
no,
guys.
I don't think
Two
there's a
movies a
measure
week.
for
I know, right?
someone being
Maybe he
single on
watches it
the
with his girlfriend or his significant other. How would
probably.
you
How
know?
would you
How
know?
would you guys know? He goes on dates to go watch movies. And again, two
I
movies
guess
a
I'm
week
single.
is not. Sorry?
I guess I'm single.
I, I guess so. I guess so. Who's been marking the register in my absence? Song, nobody has been marking the register. So please, you should start. Dachihin is letting someone know he's late. Mr. Song, Nana, yes, Nana, my wife has given birth and I've been taking care of the babies.
Hey.
Hey, Mr. Song, I don't know how to. Okay, congratulations if that's the case. I guess that's all I would say to that. Some movies I would like to put in the overrated and underrated category. Some were just bad, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hmm. Okay, I wouldn't touch that one too. Janelle Monáe showing her rack now. Oh, if yeah, don't do that. That's true. She is
Oh, I'll
really
show
liberal.
my rights now so I don't do it at her
Hey,
age.
hey. No, but
Yeah.
do you have you seen what she's doing? Right, she has a whole album and she's on concert. She's performing and just showing, letting them go.
Yeah, I'll start doing that early on, so it's not a
Hey,
big deal.
okay,
Where she is like a big deal. When I start doing
okay.
it now, it won't be a big deal. So,
I hope it's not going to be on the Casa podcast.
I mean, if you guys will allow, why
No,
not?
no, it's a family show. It's a family friendly show. Fight Club is underrated. I need to watch it again and see if I can understand it the way it was explained after I read the deeper meaning to it. It
Mm.
has so many layers, yes, and it's one of those movies you probably have to see twice.
You see, this is the reason why I hardly watch movie because I need someone to explain while the movie is ongoing.
No,
Like
you don't
some
do that to yourself. Watch it to the end and then come back and watch it again. And I think even after you watch it again, like you it
because
is a deep movie. I was
you
here
watch a
last week.
movie and then it gets to the end, like what happened? How did this? Like I have like 2,000 questions unanswered.
Mhm.
That's just too much.
I will avail myself if yeah, he was here last week. But
Okay.
let's get into this. I am going to come back to the rest of the comments. And Doc is here. Hello, my people. Hello, Doc. Doc.
Hey, you've been missed. Where have you also been? It's been like years.
uh, Doc, apparently you've not been showing yourself, but Doc and I have plans, so I would not give her a lot of case. I would save my case. But yeah, let's go on to the second round. AY, give us your second list of underrated movies.
Hmm. So that should be Glass Onion.
He just
I
said it.
mean, it's on my.
Chris, Chris just talked about Glass Onion.
It was on my list and I couldn't go past it. So
Yes. Okay, then what is the next on the movie list? AY, it looks like you have a very short list.
honestly, I'm coming to write down some things from you guys.
Okay, you know what? We would let you that one slide. Chris, since AY has said your own, you remember when we were younger and we go to Bible study and they'll be like, say a memory verse, and you're like, this guy has said my own. They'll be like, okay, you two, say his own. So, Chris, since you said your own, now give us something.
I would say Don't Look Up.
Don't look up.
Hmm.
Huh. That's horror, isn't it?
Yeah, a little.
Okay. Talk to us. Why should we watch Don't Look Up? Why should we look up?
I mean, there's the characters in there. Are good, and the storyline too is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. The way you people are doing, me, I'm going to
No, I
start.
have a movie. Now I have a movie.
Okay,
The
save that for the
title.
next round.
No, this one I have to say something for before you guys come for me.
Hey.
So that movie is the
you
movie
don't
is
have a
Don't
lot of
Breathe.
movies. Okay. You don't have a lot of movies. You want to say them all now. Okay.
She said,
Say
"Well,
them.
Don't breathe.
Hey,
It's also a horror movie.
It's
You
not a
want to-
horror movie.
Really?
It's not.
You want us to suffocate?
Chris.
Let the poor breathe.
Yeah, let the poor breathe.
Don't stand on their neck.
Don't
We
suffocate
stand
us.
Don't
on your neck.
suffocate them.
We stand on your neck.
What's
So, yeah,
about? What's it about?
It's about an old veteran, right? Who is partially blind, I guess. Not really, not partially blind, but he has. I think he's partially blind. And he lives in a neighborhood, and there was a group of people that were going to rob him. They got there. They read about him before they got there. They didn't know it was an old soldier, right? So they thought, oh, there's a blind man. He has a lot of valuables in his house, and people don't really go there. But the man had been keeping somebody in his basement because he wanted a baby like it's a very complicated, but it's very interesting. You guys should go and watch it. It sounds like a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie.
Okay.
What have you guys found of?
We don't know what to make of it. Okay.
Like, the man is blind, so the
Mm-hmm.
people broke in to steal some things in his house, and then you're expecting this man can't see anything, so it will be a very swift, operation, and then they'll go home. But it
Mm-hmm.
took like a really wrong turn.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys should watch it. You guys should watch Don't Breathe and come back and tell me what you think.
If yeah, well, after we watch Don't Breathe, I'm going to set you up with an instructor who is going to tell you how to sort of give a teaser of a movie. Because now I'm like, okay, I would check out Don't Breathe, but you did a great
So
job.
you guys don't, you still, this
We
doesn't
we
feel
we
like a
got it.
teaser. You wouldn't want to watch this based on what I've said.
No, not
An
based on what
old
you said,
veteran
but
that is
I just want to
blind,
see.
is very rich, he has a lot of money, and people thinking, oh, we can rob this man quickly, and they get in there, and it's like
No, don't get me
the man
wrong.
was
I
even
want to
stronger than
see
they
the
are.
movie. I want to see the movie. Not because of the teaser you gave, but just because of how bad your teaser is. I'm like, the movie can't be as bad as if you're describing
Okay,
it. That's
go.
kind
It's
of
okay,
that's kind
go.
of the
It's
vibe.
okay.
Chris, what is the vibe you got?
Yeah, yeah.
Has she whet your appetite on the movie, or is like, let me just go see what Ifya is trying to describe?
Either way, you want to watch it, right? That's the
Yeah,
main
that's what I'm
point.
saying. Yep, you've done a
Either
great
ways, you
job. I
want to
think the
watch it.
producers would have to give you, like, at this point, we don't have sponsors on the show, but if any sponsors are out there, come and give Ifya any advertisement you want. She's going to do such a great job. People are going to want to see it. So now I'm torn, right? I have a group of movies, right? I have some movies I feel belong to a similar category, right? I don't know if I should talk about them all at once or I should do them one at a time because they have a very similar pattern and it's very similar to the
I
Knives
think
Out glass
I think you
onion
should
thing.
mention it so we write it down, right? And then we
Okay.
ask. But yeah, because now I have
Okay.
just, I don't have
So
enough.
I would do it this way because I watch a lot of movies and I span so many different categories, right? But I love
Mhm.
those psychological thrillers. Like, movies that send your mind on a wild goose chase. They take you on that journey into, and one of those movies for me is The Man from Earth. The Man from Earth.
I think I've watched that before. You just mentioned the whole list, and let's see. So
So
what?
the setup is this: it's a very simple setup. A university professor who has been at a university for 10 years and is leaving the department. His colleagues come to say goodbye. He's not good at saying goodbye, so he doesn't even want to make a whole fanfare about it. But a couple of professors from the university come: an archaeologist, a psychologist, a biologist, people from so many different fields. And they come together and they come sit in his living room. He breaks out the Johnny Walker and they're having conversations. And then he asked them this question: that if someone ever lived on the planet and hasn't died for 14,000 years, what would the person look like? And so these, professors are given an idea. Okay, the person would be like this. Well, he would have to have these biological features. He would have learned these things. And whenever they're done describing this, he takes them on a wild journey through 14,000 years of human history. And the funny thing is, his name is John Oldman. That's his name, Professor Oldman. And it's a thriller. Like, if you really like psychology, he basically works up, and in the movie, you, the viewer of the movie, is going to have the same question that people in the movie have. They're like, are you for real or you're kidding? Like, are you telling us you've lived this long? And every question they're asking, the guy is
Did
answering
he
them.
leave that long though?
I want you to watch the movie and find out because that's what the point of the movie is. Like, it takes you
But
on this psychological thriller, and so for me, watching the movie, and I will probably leave it for the viewers to also decide, right? It's the fact that you would have certain questions. If someone walked up to you and said, "I've lived for 14,000 years," there are a few questions that will be on the tip of your tongue, right? Like, no matter what your field is, right? You'd have some questions within your field that need answers. And the fact that he provides answers, satisfactory or not, which I'll leave to the viewer, it's quite thrilling.
hmm,
At the end of the movie, it leaves you with more questions than you had, and it's a beautiful movie. It's just set in someone's living room, and the discussion, the banter is just awesome. And so it's one of those movies I recommend if people like that kind of movie. And just because it's very similar to the next one, let me just add it. There's another one, Shiva Baby. Shiva Baby is from 2020. 2020. Yeah, that movie was released in 2020. It's also about a young girl who is from a rich Jewish family. Her dad takes care of everything. She's in college, she's studying gender, and she goes for a shiva. A shiva is like bonyo party. How do you like after a funeral? There's a reception, so she goes for the reception. But this girl does some hooking up on the side. She just, sleeps with older young men. Actually, she's sleeping with only one older man for money. And she tells this guy, well, I'm in law school and I need the money to pay for law school. So at the Shiva, she meets her family. You see all this thing where family is always in your business. What are you doing? What are you doing after graduation? Are you going to law school? Are you going to... And she's in this tense moment. And the man she's having that affair with comes to the Shiva. And it turns out the man was working for her dad. And so they're like, let's set him up. Well, let's set you up with him. He has a big job. He can provide employment and all that. This guy's trying to let them avoid any kind of... And that evening, the whole Shiva is just this girl going on discovery upon discovery. Her best friend shows up. Her ex-girlfriend shows up. It's such a tense movie. And again, it all happens in the room. And it's called Shiva Baby. And I like the play the director and the producers put on the show. It's called Shiva Baby because there's a baby brought to the Shiva. And the baby cries the whole time. So it's baby crying in the background and this girl's life falling apart. And her friends just showing her how better they are than her. Her grandparents inquisitively asking, do you have a boyfriend? Are you lonely? That kind of thing. So it's like that claustrophobic feeling. But it's a very funny movie. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be a comedy. But just because of how tense everything is, and you feel the shame, like the secondhand embarrassment you'd feel for the girl, right? It just makes the movie very thrilling. It's a very good one. I think I let Chris start watching it, but he had to run and go enjoy his festivities. I don't know if he finished it, but
Chris, did you watch it?
I didn't finish it.
The funny part of it, and this is why it's a comedy, is the whole thing is a setup to a very funny punchline. Like all this thing the girl goes through just leads to the funny punchline at the end. And so if you're into that kind of thrillers, Shiva Baby is the movie for you. And the director of the movie is the star of the movie. She directed and produced this movie at 27. That's even one of the things that's so badass about the movie. It's her first Hollywood movie. And she did a great job. I think she has a great future in Hollywood. Like for your first movie to write, direct, and act in it was great. And so yeah, that's another one of those one bedroom or one house thrillers. And at the end of the movie, like who did what? I think this one did that, and that's a good one.
Anyway,
Grace, let me come to you, and then we'll go to Efia because she might remember one on the way.
Missing. I don't. It's a 2023 movie.
Missing.
Yeah.
missing. As in
Yeah.
missing in continuous term or missing as in past participle?
Continuous.
Missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us
What's it
about it.
about?
What happened?
Yeah. So there was this. The story started like a single mother and her daughter stayed in a house. They were living in a house, and then their mom met a new boyfriend, and she went on a vacation with a new boyfriend, and her mom got missing. And I mean, she had to. So the way she got to know her mom was missing, she had to pick her mom up from the airport on that day, and then she noticed her mom didn't show up at the airport. She made calls, made police reports, called CIA and all that, because they went on a vacation in Mexico. Yeah, so she had to make calls and all that. And they all said there was nothing they could do about it. So she took the bold step, hide. She didn't have enough money, so she just hide. I think she just went to a website to find people who can just do like odd jobs.
Hmm.
And then she found this local detective. And then she was also, I
No,
mean,
I'm interested.
finding, she found cameras at the hotel, made enquiries, made calls, made
Huh.
a detective go look for the tapes and all that. It was, the plot twist was really mad. Apparently, her new boyfriend
Mhm.
made her go missing, but it wasn't his idea.
Mhm.
It's a whole lot.
That sounds like a good movie.
Yeah.
Sounds
It,
like a
So
really
she
good
was
one.
not missing. She actually wanted to like.
no, she was kidnapped.
Hmm. Chris,
Yes.
you just let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
You just let the cat out of the bag. If you should have watched the movie to find that one out.
I
Yeah.
don't know how you could do it when you are narrating stories to people. You say it so the person have an idea of what they are going to watch,
No,
No,
and
no,
then
no.
no.
It's supposed to lead you down the path
Yeah.
close enough and then leave you there. So you go and watch.
if it's close enough to leave me there, I can't continue. So just
Yeah,
get
you
to
go.
the
That is why
end,
you watch it.
and then you be like, okay, now that I know what I have to see, let me go and start watching. You see.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, going through the comments, right? Mr. Rasula is saying, honestly, I watch movies without keeping the titles in mind. Yeah, I'm that terrible. Dude, you're not alone. A lot of people watch a lot of movies and
Yes,
you
here,
can't
same
you
here.
can't you can't keep all the titles in mind. It's only the good ones. And don't worry, Efia doesn't keep all these in mind. She just prepared for the show. She went and sat down and tried to remember all the movies she should watch, and she's gotten 3 movies so far. Three. That's how good she is. Um, Kwesi is saying maybe Chris has a boyfriend. Inclusion, guys, inclusion. Yeah, yeah, we never know. Yeah, but that's why I
Oh
said
my
his
god,
significant
Chrissy.
other. Kwesi is just if yeah, you mean the shoe rack that used to sit behind her in the previous episodes? This is a oh no. I'm not going to. It's okay. He's making a joke on the showing the rack, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate the Avatar movie. I'm sorry, it's overrated. It's true. The Avatar movie, I honestly can't bring myself to watch a second movie. I don't know. I think the Avatar
Kuma
movie
would Mortal Kombat. Kissy, which one is
is
that one?
underrated. Yes, they have been making some interesting movies in Kumawood lately. And
Really?
there's a Mortal Kombat element. There's even an Apocalypto movie. You should watch it. Fantastic Beast: The Secret of Dumbledore. I don't know if it's overrated or underrated. To me, it's not a good movie, but yeah, it's one of the movies that's being mentioned. That is Dachshund who is talking about it. Rashid is saying Shutter Island is 2 is underrated. Martin Scorsese directing gets just hides everything in plain sight. Scorsese is good at making like directing those kinds of movies that would really mess up your mind. But yeah, I would check it out, Shutter Island. Now You See Me 1 and 2.
I think I watched this
Now you
movie.
see
I
Now
me.
You See
think.
Me, I don't know. Okay, it's good. It's a good movie and it's great acting. But the story could be better. Especially part 2, I feel like they just it didn't need a part 2 in my opinion. Where even the good guys turn out to be bad guys. It's like don't ruin our characters for us, right? But yeah, that's just my feeling about it. It's a good one. Three
Oh,
Idiots is a
how
good
did
one. It's
I
a
even forget?
classic. The Three
Yeah.
Idiots is a classic. Yeah, and again, it's one of those movies that has been made and remade and remade. The Three Stooges was probably the most the first of the kind, right? In the 80s.
Mm.
But the Three Idiots, the Indian version, is just a good one too. Very good movie, very funny. I need to watch Pulp Fiction again. The way the movie is pieced together is just different. And
Hmm.
again, these days, especially for some of these pop culture movies, like Pulp Fiction is one of that's like it, on YouTube, you can find a million people who have done documentaries on that. And to me, sometimes I like it because it gives me insights into the movie I did not get when I watched it. Did I pause, Michael? I don't know what you're asking, but it probably if yeah, the word is psychological thriller. It means that it is. It means what? It means watch it so it trails your psychology. Some of these words are hard for me, Rashid. Please break it down. Psychological. Yeah, yeah. I'm not even. I'm going to trip on that. I'm going to leave that. If yeah, it's a psychological thriller, so throw your psychological. Okay.
Oh my god.
Michael Maxwell is saying I've seen it. If Yura is underrated,
Oh,
we're
that
not doing this
is.
today. We're not going to do this again today. I'm begging you. Oh, she's such a. I think it's missing. Missing is what
Yeah,
um
yeah. Maxwell is
Maxwell
talking
is
about.
talking about.
Yeah.
I've watched it before. It's very intriguing. It's a very intriguing movie to watch. Chris, I think Missing is something a lot of people are standing behind it. She did a whole search on the internet. The movie made
Hmm.
me realize the internet is a very powerful tool. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would definitely check it out. When They See Us. Is that a movie? When They
Yeah,
See Us.
when they see us.
Huh. I haven't seen it.
Hey,
Chris, have you seen it?
Yeah,
Maxwell,
see,
please come and give us a
Hey,
summary of what the
When
movie
They
is
See
about.
Us. Chris, where can we watch this movie? Where did you watch the movie? Again,
Netflix.
we're not advertising for any streaming platform, but we'll just let you know.
Yeah,
Chris, where did you watch it?
Netflix,
Okay,
Netflix.
apparently it's on Netflix. Um, let's get into some of the movies, right? And I'm going to talk about a movie that I liked it because of how eerily similar it is to one of my favorite books of all time. This movie is Equilibrium.
That's the
If
title.
you, yeah, Equilibrium. And
Where
if
can we
you
watch this before we continue?
Equilibrium, I think it's on Pluto. It's free on Freevee, any of those streaming sites. And I don't know which. I think it's on Max too, HBO Max. Yes, but Equilibrium is if you like Kristen Bale doing Kristen Bale stuff with guns, that is what I can say. It's a badass movie. There's something called Genjutsu or something. There's a whole martial art with guns where the practitioner knows where every bullet is going to be. So there, it's like Matrix type stuff, but it's set in a world that's like the world in 1984. So basically, this is a post-war world. So after the horrors of the World War, humanity decides to set up a world where nobody goes to war again. And so they have the father or big brother, sort of like, the overarching monarch who makes the laws for these people. And they've designed a serum which people are supposed to inject every day. It takes away all emotions. So people don't feel sad, people don't feel jealous, people don't like no emotions. And so people are just doing their job, living their life, living like loving their family, like everything, but there's no war. And so the whole world is at peace. But then there are people, a group of them that revolt. They are like, I don't want to do this. Like, we want to feel again, right? We want to know what love is. We want to know what. And so Kristen Bell is in at the time the judges or the people who are like the leaders of the people, like the inner circle in
Mhm.
1984. He's one of the top, judges of the time, and he decides to revolt. And so basically, he goes on a quest to free everybody and let people have emotions again. It's a great movie. It's a thriller. Again, if you like action movie, I know Kwesi likes action movie. It's martial arts with a gun, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. It's one of the okay. Apart from Kristen Bale as Batman, I think Kristen Bale in Equilibrium is my second favorite Kristen Bale. And if you like Kristen Bale
Hmm.
doing Kristen Bale stuff again, I'll describe a scene. I'll describe a scene where he's going into Big Brother's palace, and he throws his refill, the cartridges with his bullets. He just throws
Mhm.
them into the hallway, and so everybody's has their eye, and it actually lands on the tip. So he just throws his cartridges, and they land on the tip. And so the guards come out to see, and then he's just doing that boom, 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 where they are firing and he's dodging all the bullets and killing everybody. And just when he gets to that point, that's where he needs to refill. He pushes it, and then he just hits the he just hits the reload ones that were standing on edge. just perfectly timed. Like if you like action movies and you want to see people fighting to feel
Okay.
again, it is your movie. It's just beautiful. And then there's a lot of sword fighting too. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's a nice movie. I like Kristen Bell in that one. Again, sometimes it's the actors and the producers that make the movie. If yeah, which one are you going to talk about?
Well, I talked about don't breathe, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so the next on my list the next on my list should
Mhm.
be hmm. Well, I don't remember the title of the movie, right? But then I've watched this movie where there's this FBI agent that her daughter was kidnapped, and then he had to find a way to save her because you know I don't know, but it's something around that. That's so I've forgotten the title, so
You've
I can't
forgotten
help
the
you guys.
title of the movie. You don't remember the plot, and we should go and watch it. If yeah, that's such a great recommendation. What could we do without these wonderful
You
recommendations?
know what? That's why Chris watched 100 movie on the average in a
I
year
am
to give
dead.
us recommendations. So
But guys, if you're
that's not my
listening,
stronghold, but I try, you guys. I
if you're
really try.
listening, you should really go watch the video of Evia Yeboah sitting there with a smile on her face, telling her as she forgot the title of the movie. So we could forgive that. She starts narrating the plot of the movie and she's also forgotten the, but we should definitely check it out. So guys,
You know the funny thing, the
mhm,
only part of the movie I remember was the part where the girl was kidnapped. I don't
mhm.
remember anything, but I know it was a great movie.
Okay, let me see if this rings a bell. In the movie, whenever the daughter was kidnapped, did the agent ever make a phone call and says,
Yeah, the girl
I
was
don't
on a
know who
phone
you are?
call.
Okay,
Yes,
I know.
that's the. How did you know?
Guys, she's talking about Taken. Again, it's a very popular movie. Taken is where his daughter is taken and he's like, I'll find you and I'd kill you.
That is the
Liam
movie.
Neeson. How can you forget Liam Neeson in Taken?
Like
It's a
that is the
very
movie.
lovely.
The girl was under the bed, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the
Yep.
movie,
She's talking
guys.
about Taken. It's a good movie. But
That's the movie.
I was going to solicit some help from the people in the audience, but since we've figured out the movie, thank you for reminding us of Taken. Yes, if you've not seen Taken, if Yaya has given you reason to see it, she didn't remember the title, but hey, it's a good one. Let's see.
But you
Let's go
see,
through.
the little information I gave you, able to figure it out, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what happens when you watch 100 movies a year, or you watch, or you watch 3 movies a day. If you're me, we're not crazy, Chris. Okay, let me go through some of these comments and Chris will come in. I hit the enter button by mistakes. Sorry about that. I don't know. I'm not willing to see when they
when they
see
see
us.
us.
The reviews on social media discouraged me. Yeah,
Hmm.
Kwejo, I've watched it before. I think you're talking about Equilibrium.
Yeah.
80 minutes got to be on the underrated list. I haven't seen 80 minutes. Chris,
Oh,
have you seen 80 minutes?
No, I don't
Then
think
I
so.
guess we're gonna have to watch it. Resident Evil, I feel it's
so 80
overrated.
minutes, yeah.
Yes, Resident Evil is well, it depends on which one. There are 4 movies in that franchise, so I don't know which one is overrated. Timeliness is underrated. I haven't seen Timeliness either. Can you please add the days, guys? If you're sending in the movie titles, please add the days so that we would know which movies you're talking about. Equilibrium is great too. The concept of eliminating emotions is just intriguing. Imagine not feeling anything, 100% objectivity all the time. At least that was what they were going for. But
Mm.
like we say, you can never stop people from feeling, right? Song is saying, hey, Uncle Tao, I hope you're doing well. Exam 2009 is silly but decent as well. I'll definitely watch Exam
2009 exam.
2009. Yeah. The Evil Dead is overrated. The Evil Dead. I think I've seen the Evil Dead franchise. I've seen some of the movies, but we'll see. Okay, Maxwell came back. When they see us, 5 teenagers were falsely accused of raping a lady and got arrested. They spent their
Hmm.
years fighting. Oh, I think that is the New York
It's a
thing.
true, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
true,
it's
yeah.
the New York story. The guys who were released. I think I watched a documentary recently, and one of them was even in the justice system, about the American justice system.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Hmm.
about that story. Yeah, there were 5 black guys who were falsely accused of raping a young woman. They spent so many years in jail, and they found out it wasn't even them. And I think they got really
What?
settled. They got some settlement, and they're
Yeah,
doing pretty well.
some
And they
settle.
got they got the Netflix movie and everything. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should. It's called what the
The
City
pa-
Park.
the Park Nine. The
Yeah,
Park
the Park. Yeah, the Park
Eight,
9 or
something
something.
like that. Yeah.
Something.
So when
Central
is
Park
when they
5.
see
I think
when they
Central Park
see
5.
as no, what is that? That's not the title.
That's the
That's
title
like,
of the movie, but the name of that case, like the guys that called the Central Park 5,
yeah, the
because it
Central.
Okay.
happened in Central Park. Yeah.
Okay.
Kilalomi Terminator 1 and 2. Kwame. Terminator is definitely not underrated. Red Scorpion. Visitor. Kwame. Going in style. Guys, please, when you're recommending the movies, please add the year so that we can write them down. We really want to watch some of these movies. Asimo. Can we agree that Fast and Furious 3, the rest of the series is overrated or fake, but we love them anyways? Chris, should we share our experience with Fast 10?
Kojo, that movie.
So it was
Be
Maxwell,
quiet.
Chris, and myself, and went to see this movie. We went to watch the movie, and ay, ay, ay. At the end of the movie, we just sat down. We're like, what are they trying to? We'll not even talk about that. But yeah, if you've not seen the Fast and Furious series, I don't know what to say. Yeah, Central Park. What is Asimo? Yeah, Kwame, please add the years of the movies, right? But guys, has anyone seen Dope 2015? Dope.
Dope.
Hmm.
It's about
I
this
think
young
I
kid.
have.
It's a good show. It's a comedy show. It's a comedy. It's a dramedy, I guess. High school kid, straight A's kid. No, like he keeps his nose clean. Doesn't do anything silly. He likes this girl. The girl asks him to a party. He goes, and the girl's boyfriend. That stuff happens, and the boyfriend escorts him out. Guess when he realized the girl's boyfriend had put a gun and drugs in his bag. So he spends the entire movie trying to clear his name and trying to sort of run away from the guy who's trying to kill him, because now he has a target on his back because he accidentally has someone's drugs. And it is a thriller. It is a very interesting movie. But yeah, if you've not seen Dope, it's a dope movie. quite literally, it's a dope
Hmm.
movie. Chris,
I
do you
think
have
I've
any
watched
more
it
for
before.
us?
I have two movies.
Mm,
One is based on a true story, The
okay.
Swimmers.
The Swimmers.
Yeah. So two young sisters lived in, I think, is it Syria? Yeah.
Mm.
I think it happened.
Ah,
Yeah, it happened sometime around early 2000s, or no, mid 2000s or something like that.
I think I've
And
seen that.
then there was a war in Syria, and they had
Mhm.
to flee from Syria to somewhere else. I don't
Mhm.
remember the country, but
Turkey.
something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they joined. So from Syria going to becoming refugees, and then the in 2016, I think they competed in the Olympics.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's a lovely story about trial and overcoming all these adversity. I think, did they win anything, or just even competing was
I
just?
think they I think they want something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good. It's a good heart. It touches on your heartstrings, right? So it's a
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie in that sense. And you said you had another movie. What's the
Yeah.
other one?
For space lovers, people who like spacewalk and all that.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is
Mm-hmm.
Stowaway.
Still okay.
Yeah. So I, it's basically about traveling to space. Like they were going to the space station, and as they were going to space, they found an aerospace engineer
Huh.
in, and the space shuttle or whatever was built for just three individuals,
Okay.
and then they found a fourth person in there. I mean, when you watch closely, I don't know whether, you can judge for yourself. I don't know whether it was intentional
Or accidental.
or accidental.
Mhm.
But he was taking their supplies,
Exactly. So
oxygen supplies, and
no,
everything.
even before that, how
Mhm.
he was found damaged some parts of the space
I
shuttle.
think I've seen it.
Yeah. So
Was there any relation with any of the? Was he related to any of the people on there?
no, he
Okay,
wasn't related
because
to
the
him.
one I think one of the astronauts' dad It was a young woman and her dad, who was also an astronaut, stowaway on the plane. I don't know if it was in a movie or something, but
No,
huh,
yeah, it wasn't that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because he
we
has a
def
question. He said, "Is it a black guy that was that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
repairs
yeah,
engine?"
yeah, that movie.
Kwesi seems to watch a lot of movies, yet he said he didn't watch a lot of movies.
And
But
he's
it looks
calling
like
somebody
Kwesi
single for
watches
watching a
movies.
lot of movies.
I think Kwesi might be single too because he watches a lot of movies. Every movie Chris has mentioned, Kwesi has seen. I don't know how Kwesi managed to watch all these movies. But guys, in wrapping up, I have a few ones. I'm going to quickly go through them. Some of them are really popular. So I think 2002 DiCaprio's Catch Me If You Can, I think, is one of the most, it's not underrated. It's one of those called classics. Like Catch Me If You Can, a Bagnell. If you've not seen that, you should definitely watch that movie. A kid who was a university professor, a pilot, he was everything in the book. Catch Me If You Can, I think, is one of DiCaprio's best performances. Didn't get him an Oscar, but hey, that guy has struggled. Nothing seemed to get him an Oscar. I think another one I would mention, Perfect Blue. Again, for my anime lovers, Perfect Blue is a good one. It's just like Fight Club. It's this girl who is a musician, multi-award winning musician. She just gets tired of that life and wants to live a quiet life. She just doesn't want to be a star anymore. She wants to recline to a small apartment in Tokyo and mind her business. But she sees things. She starts seeing things, right? She starts seeing things. Her what alter ego, that's what people would call it, right? Who she was on
Okay.
stage, she starts seeing it. She looks in the mirror and she doesn't see herself. She sees that girl and it's like, come on, go back to work. Why are you boxing me into this? And she doesn't know if it's reality or it's a mind playing tricks on her. And she goes places and she doesn't remember going. It's like, the hair in her takes over and she doesn't remember if it's her, to the point where it leads to killing someone. And oh my god, now she has to defend herself because she finds someone dead in her tub and she doesn't know if she did it or not. And she goes on a whole quest. I think you should watch it. It's just like Fight Club. It would really mess with your mind. And the emotional rawness of the movie. The movie is very emotionally raw. Like, she is feeling things that she should not feel. She's remembering things that she doesn't remember going. She's remembering parties she wasn't even at, talking to people she did. And so it's like that duality of human nature, right? Her stage persona wanting to break out, and her little self who wants to just, if you're into anime, it's a good anime and it's a very short one. I like short animes. It's only like 62, 63 minutes, and it's a very lovely story. So, and then there's another one, The Wolf of Snow Hollow. I know when I said The Wolf of, if I was like, oh, The Wolf of Wall Street, I've seen that. The Wolf of Snow Hollow is this young man who is the deputy sheriff of his town. He has a wife and a daughter, a teenage daughter who is growing up so fast. This guy can't control her. His wife, it's like the marriage is not going so well. And I told you, he's the deputy sheriff. And guess who the sheriff is? His
Who?
dad. And so he comes home and he's being run by his family. He's getting so much trouble. He goes to work and his dad is his boss, and they're just chewing this guy, this poor miserable man. He's getting chewed up at work and he's getting chewed up at home. And he gets a break because he stumbles into an accident and he has to investigate, and it changes his life and his career and everything. It's also thrilling. Again, it's intended to be a comedy, but it's one of those comedies where you're like, should I be laughing at this joke? I know it's funny, but I know you're miserable. Should I laugh at your misery? Like, the main character is the punchline of the joke because we have to laugh at him, but we all see what he's going through, and so it's like, should I be okay laughing at the guy, right? But it's a very wonderful one, The Wolf of Snow Hollow. And in the end, it ends up good for him. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it ends up good for him. So that's also one of my recommendations. And one of the movies I watched this week, Chris, The Invitation. AY. Again, people's desire to not feel sad. The Invitation is a young man who gets invited by his ex-wife to a reunion. So he goes with his current girlfriend. His ex-wife has a new husband, and they have a couple of their old friends for dinner. The entire movie is set around dinner. The wife is happy, she's cheerful, she's let everything in her past go. Her boyfriend is acting sus, like he's locking doors, every window is caged and everything. Like the house is not what the man knew when he lived with her. And the reason they split was they had a young boy who died. And they couldn't deal with the grief, so they separated. So this guy hasn't seen his wife in so long. He sees her and she's just happy. And he's worried, like, what's wrong with this woman? And so the entire movie walks us through how they went to Mexico, joined a cult, and then now they're inviting all these people to join the cult, because when you join a cult, you but it takes a very dark, thrilling turn. And that's why I want if you're about to go and watch the movie. And come and tell us what you
So
think.
what happened?
It takes a dark, thrilling turn.
The 10 being what happened? The boy
The,
didn't really die.
the
Are you
title of the movie is The Invitation 2015. You should go and watch it. You really should go and watch it. It's a
Okay.
beautiful movie in every sense of the word beautiful, but it's thrilling and it will give you chills. And you would not expect half the things that happen. Okay, I'll give you a clue. So once the guy knows that they're in a cult, he begins to suspect their happiness is not genuine. So even the food they're eating, he suspects maybe they've put something in the food. Like basically, they play games. And one of the games is I Want. You know how we play party games, Never Have I Ever? The title of that
Mhm.
game is I Want, and you tell them your heart desire. One of the characters goes like, I really want some of the cocaine you were doing, because the husband was a recovering addict. He's like, yeah, sure. He opens and then gives like, how can a recovering addict have cocaine in the house when you claim you're covering? Like, what kind of game is this? His wife turns to one of the guys like, I really want to kiss this guy. And she kisses him, and everybody's like, something weird is going on. And so this guy has to play detective and find out what's wrong with his wife and try to save her. But again, I'll leave it at
His
that.
ex-wife or his wife?
His ex-wife. His ex-wife. But yeah, it's a very lovely movie.
where can we watch it?
The Invitation, I think it's on Amazon Prime. I think it's I would get you that. Where was it? HBO maybe, or Prime. It's HBO or Prime, but you'll find it. And again, you find a free version. There's also a free version on Pluto. I think I watched the free version. You have a few ads, but it's fine. Yeah, The Invitation is one. And guys, if you've not seen Tetris 2023, please.
What?
Tetris, the movie Tetris 2023. If you've not seen it, please. It's on Apple TV. Go watch it. It's the story of that the game we all loved, Bricks game, Tetris.
Yeah.
How it was made and how the maker ended up being rich. Like how the designer was a Russian, and how this American entrepreneur who wouldn't stop at anything, not even the Russian government could stop him from making this guy, his friend, rich. It's an action thriller that is set in the Cold War era. And this lovely game, this guy wants the whole world to play, because he played one time and he's hooked. And he's like, this is a great game, the world should play it. But you know how they had limitations on, making money off your intellectual property in Russia. And
Mhm.
so this guy takes the whole entire Soviet Union on just so that his friend would be rich. and, and he made him a promise. And it's so funny. He goes to Russia and looks this guy dead in the eye and is like, I would make you rich. And the guy's like, listen, I live in a communist country. Nobody ever gets rich here. Don't make promises you can't keep. And this guy spends the entire movie making his friend's dream come true. And the lovely and touching part is the friend had two kids, right? And he played games with the kids and everything. And eventually he moved them over to the US, and this guy's come and take over an empire. And it's a true story too. It's based on a true story. That game we all love wouldn't have come out because it
Which
shouldn't.
game?
Tetris, Briggs game.
Oh.
Remember that game that we would all have? You'd try and make the blocks.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, it's a nice movie. It came out, and one of the reasons I love the movie is the soundtracks in there. They fuse modern soundtracks, and they have I think the final countdown is in there somewhere. Oh my gosh, in a party at a time where in communist Soviet Russia, you couldn't have nightclubs, and these like renegades had a nightclub, and they were there, and you, even if you're going to sing a song, you can't sing. Clearly, you can't sing an American song. These people were there dancing to the final countdown, and it was crazy. Like it's a movie you should watch. Like it's a thriller, and it ends up great. That's all I can say. I like when movies end great. I don't like it when they end in sorrow and in tears. So yeah, Tetris is one to watch. So the movies I have mentioned, going to go through recap: Fight Club, Catch Me If You Can, Tetris, The Wolf of Sleepy Hollow, Equilibrium, Dope, Perfect Blue, Shiver Baby, The Invitation. And I have one last movie for you guys, but I'll go around the room. If yeah, one last movie for people.
One last movie.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't remember the title, but it's a movie about two
I'll help you.
girls. They are
Mhm.
best friends, right? And then it was like they were being chased or something. They were running away from someone, and I mean that is all I remember from that movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is impossible to help.
Okay, let me see if I remember more. I think one of the girls' boyfriend
Just because
was.
you brought the taking story and we could help you, now you think you can just turn this game into a movie trivia. Like, let me see how you guys can do on this one. This one, we can't, not even Jesus can help you with this one.
Oh my god. It's a movie
Mhm.
about two girls. She was so
Mhm.
funny. The boyfriend was involved in some drug something, or he was a detective. I don't really remember. And they were
Mhm.
supposed to escape. And so they were running away from, the people the people chasing them, and she would turn the traffic gator to show like she's gonna turn, and it was like, what is wrong with you? You're trying to escape from this guy, so you show you the direction. That kind of I don't remember the movie.
I think
But
I
that
know
is a
the movie you're
very
talking about.
what's the title?
I don't remember the title. I think it's crazy. It's a comedy show, right?
It's a comedy, yeah.
It's this girl. How am I forgetting the girl's name?
One cute girl.
Uh
Oh, but it's a very
I've seen the
interesting
movie
movie.
you're talking about. You just yeah. I don't want to describe her. Description is on the tip of my tongue, but I don't want to describe her because it wouldn't be a good thing to do. But I
But
know
do you
the
remember
movie
the
you're talking.
storyline?
I can't seem to, but talking about what you the whole showing the trafficator thing, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Chris, you give us your last movie. If yeah, I'll try and remember it. McCartney is her name. She has Melissa McCartney. It's Melissa McCartney and some other girl. I know that movie. I would find it. Chris, please give us your last movie.
A man called Odo.
Although
I know that movie.
Yes, Tom
I
Hanks.
think I've heard it
Tom Hanks,
before.
yeah.
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 I think I've
hmm
heard that movie before.
If you are, you have to watch that movie.
Really? Then let me put a story there. What's the name again?
The man called Odo.
A man called Odo.
A man or the man?
A man.
A man called what?
OTTO.
It's on
OT.
Apple TV, right?
Oh.
I think
Yes.
it's an Apple TV exclusive.
I think
Okay.
it's even on.
Let
It's
me see
also
if
on
I still have
Netflix.
access to Apple TV.
It's also on Netflix. I think
Oh,
so.
okay. Huh.
Or Prime.
I'm trying to find this. It's
Mm.
not Thunder Force. It's not Thunder Force. But she was on Thunder Force. Chris, you remember Thunder Force, right?
Matana Force. Yeah.
Yes, she was on Thunder Force. I'm trying to remember, but anyway, I would try and remember that pop movie. Yeah. Okay. In wrapping up the show, let me go through some of the comments and I'll leave my last comments.
Okay.
Okay, so Chris, Mr. Frost is asking, y'all don't
Oh,
watch Ghanaian
I can
movies?
give you Ghanaian movies, but they are pretty old. But yeah, I
National
can give you
Treasure,
Ghanaian movie.
National Treasure Rashid is saying part one and two are underrated. The incorporation of American history was dope. Yeah, National Treasure is a good one if you're into, yeah. Yep. Ghanaian movies. He's asking for any recommendations. If yeah,
Watch Leila Jansi's movie.
what's the
Um,
title?
no, she's a producer and a director, so her
Yeah.
movies you should
But
just.
what
But
title of
watch
a Mhm.
Sinking Sun. Watch Sparrow Movie Productions. So they have really pretty good movies. Like in the
Titles of the
past,
movies?
um,
It's like me saying
Adam's
go and
Apple.
watch
Adam's
Universal movie
Apple.
movies.
No, Adam's. They don't have a lot of movies. Layla moved from Ghana. She never made movies
Hmm.
ever since. I think she made a movie recently,
I
but then
really don't think Kwesi Frost is serious about his Ghanaian movie recommendations.
no.
He's
Oh my
stressing you out
god.
for nothing.
I can
He's
look for
not going to
some for
watch.
you. Yeah, watch Adam's Apple Sparrow movie production. Watch Lab or something like that.
Hmm.
Perfect Picture. Watch the one and two. You hate it, but you love it. And then
Mr. Frost is saying, I really need to get like Chris because I just realized I wasted money buying a TV. If you buy a
uh-huh.
TV and you're not watching it, you've wasted your money. That's true. Um, Rashid is saying, is there a single Denzel Washington movie that is underrated? No, I don't think so.
No.
Man on Fire, John Q, he got Game, Training Day. There's never if Denzel is in there, you can call it underrated. Every Denzel movie is dope, and I can't put any of his movies on this list because, dude, it's Denzel. He's the man on fire. Okay, let's move on. I really need. Oh no, we're okay. So the spacewalk thing, Mr. Frost thinks is trash.
I
No,
bet he didn't watch past 15 minutes. Trust
yeah, he
me.
said he watched 15 minutes and it wasn't good, so he turned it off.
That's not how to watch a movie.
He gives you
Tell
15
him.
minutes to impress him.
Tell him.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can, a great, great movie. It is a great, great movie. DiCaprio gave probably one of his best performances, flying planes and everything. Kojo watches anime. I'm giving you bombastic side eye. Yes, I watch a lot of anime. I can't tell you. I watch a lot of anime. The TV shows, the movies. I love anime. Give me all the side eye you want, but it's probably one of the best genres of movie. Um, please, we need to we need a
We need
session
to
for anime.
for anime.
Courage, if you're going to come on, we're definitely going to get a session for anime. I have so many animes I want to talk about, but yeah, you can start with Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is a good one. Interstellar. I mean, Interstellar, was it? Is it a series? Like, is it a group of movies? Because I think it has another one.
I think so.
Interstellar, is it Inception and something? I think there are a couple of movies in that franchise, but Interstellar is a good one. The space movie is pretty decent. Tao is agreeing with
Hmm.
you. Death Note 2017, try it out. Yeah, Death Note is a good
Okay.
one. Talked about it on the show last week. Anime needs a whole show dedicated to it. Absolutely. If I can get some anime heads into this house, we can definitely do a whole show on
I
anime
get a
because
couple of people who are
please
into
get me some
anime.
anime heads and let's get into because I we can go for days. We can go with haiku. We can go with like I have tons of anime on
Naruto.
Netflix. The basketball Kuroko plays. Like there's a ton of good anime. Chris, you're smiling. Have you seen it?
No, I
It's
haven't.
on
No,
Netflix.
Chris
Please check it
doesn't
out.
watch
And
anime.
check Haiku.
I'll
Haiku
check
is
it.
also about handball. It's also a good one. Dragon Ball Z. So many great ones. I I just I'm just here to download all the movies to my Plex for later. Okay,
Yep.
then we hope we're giving you some good recommendations. I have one last movie I will talk about, and then I hope it's also a good recommendation. Asimo Nails, Asimo Ninja movie, Clem, what Clem or Hamze movie? I have no idea. If he has not played Tetris before, I think so. If you have you played Tetris?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Last Burial.
Are you serious right now, Kwame?
Kwame. How many
Kwame.
times have I mentioned your name, Kwame? Karishika. Bad Boys 1 and 2. I think even the reunion Bad Boys was not that good. There's a recent one they did. Chris, did you see it? The Bad Boys came together,
No.
I think last year or 2 years ago. Will Smith and the other guy, they did a new Bad Boys movie. It
No, I
wasn't
didn't.
as good. Movies and you guys aren't propagating any movies. Police
Asimbi
Academy.
Queen.
Police
Police Academy.
Academy. That's an old one. I don't think if you even watch Police Academy. Move it,
I
move it,
think
move it, move it.
I
There's a
think
guy in Police Academy who could do every sound. He could
you
do
know
every
Ghana
sound.
Ghana has the Police Academy
Wanted.
movie,
No,
right?
that's
I'm
not the
sure
one I'm talking about. I'm talking about
that's the one he's
Impapa
talking
Police
about.
Academy. No, we're not doing that. I'm not playing that game with Kwame. Che- Kwame, why are you like this? Kwame is recommending Chewa part 1, 2, 3, and 4 up to part 100.
There's
Um,
even Chewaba.
Interesting. If you are this one there, you can't help. Please, please, please. Yes, this one, no one can help. The movie, it's a Melissa
Oh
McCartney movie. It's a funny movie. If you are the movie's name is Not Taken.
no, 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 it's not taken. It's
So I'm signing up on two shows, two movies, right? Because if you are talking about the whole CIA and the girls getting away from, it reminded me of a movie I watched this year. This movie came out this year. It's called Ghosted. Chris, have you seen Ghosted? I think it's an Apple movie.
No, I haven't.
I've
This
seen it.
guy goes on a date with a young woman, enjoys the date. It was a wonderful date. They exchange numbers, and the guy goes home. The girl goes home. Okay, I even set it up wrong. The guy was working at a farmer's market. The girl comes around. He's even looking at someone else's stand. Girl wants to buy a flower, and the guy gives some snacky comments, right? And so the girl and him get into it. And so she goes to sit in the car, and the guy is like, I was really rude to her. Let me go and apologize. So he goes to the car. They exchange numbers, and the girl is like, yeah, we should grab coffee sometime. And the guy is like, what are you doing now? And so they're like, sure, sure, let's go get coffee. So they go out, they watch movie, they go on a date, it turns into a very nice thing. He walks her to a door. He's leaning in for the kiss. She pulls him in, and one thing leads to another, and then he wakes up in the morning and he goes home. The guy lives with his mother, his father, and his sister. It's a very inquisitive family. They're asking, how did it go? What? But from there, he doesn't hear of this from this girl again. So he starts texting the girl. Text there, text there, text there. And sister is like, listen, don't text too much. You're being, it's too much. Like, slow it down.
Mhm.
A guy keeps texting, and after like a day, he doesn't hear from the girl. But then I think he left an air tag or something on the girl, something creepy, and he finds out where the girl is. The girl is in Europe. So guy is texting girl doesn't respond. So guy gets on a plane and goes to London, follows the GPS coordinates and finds the girl. Not creepy at all. He ends up being in the middle of a drug deal. Like basically the girl is a spy. She's chasing these deadly killers, and she has a reputation in the underworld as being like this deadly assassin. So this guy walks in there looking for his girlfriend, and the
His
bad guys,
girlfriend.
looking for the girl. The guys see him and they think he is the assassin because like he fits the bill, and he gets himself in trouble after trouble, and the girl has to save him all over the world, actually all across the continent, just saving this guy's dumbass because he's looking for the girl. And they end up dating, and it ends up in a very happy thing. But this sweet little kid who just stalks this poor young woman to almost end his own life, and the girl has to bail him out over and over again. Ghosted. It's a good one. It's a comedy. But the funny thing is, every guy who ever liked a girl ends up dying in the movie. Like they just keep falling like flies. And this is the only guy and all of them are like spies and people with a lot of skill who can defend themselves, but they end up dead. And this guy with no skill, no sense of self-awareness, he just escapes death narrowly. Like sometimes, a spy would have been security conscious and avoided certain things, and that's what gets them killed. This guy is just strolling on by. And sometimes even the audacity with which he would walk into a room, if people want to kill him, they're like, if he's bold enough to walk into this room with no armor, like weapons, he's probably a badass. Nope. He's a
Oh,
dumbass. Yeah. Ghosted was a good one. You guys should see it. And then the last movie is The Nice Guys, 2016. The Nice Guys.
Um,
Two law enforcement agents that do not have to be on a team. Like the most unmatchable match. And they go to solve this case because they're both invested in it somehow. They all have daughters. Their daughters get along. These men can't get along for shit. And the whole movie is just you like, if you two could just see eye to eye for a minute, the clues are right in front of you. They would be right there by the clue and they'll be fighting each other. And then, like, there's this scene, probably the best scene of the movie. They don't trust each other so much that one has to use the washroom. The other stands in front of the stall and opens the door. Like, I know you're hiding something from me, so I'm not letting you leave my side. Nice Guys is a great movie. Like,
oh my god.
it's it's one of those movies. Everybody sitting on the side knows who did it, but the two people who are supposed to know who did it are so self-absorbed and so stupid that they can't see who did it. It's a good one, and so you definitely should check it out. But those are my recommendations. Last words, AY.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my recommendations and I hope you actually catch the movie and watch it. Let me know if you do watch it and what you think of the movies. Yeah, so see you guys next week.
Which of the movies? The ones you didn't remember the title or the ones you didn't remember the plot?
I mean, I remember except the last one that I mentioned. I mean, you guys couldn't help me with the title, but almost every one of it I remembered.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Chris, any last words for us?
Yeah, I mean, try to watch one movie a week just to relax and know things. I mean, sometimes you learn a lot from movies, being it history or learning something new, knowing places.
Boy.
It helps a lot.
Yep. Try and watch as many movies as you can. That can be a bad advice. And thank you guys for joining the show. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. The comments were fire as always. Rashid, Dachehine, Michael, Mr. Frost, Courage, Sontao, Uncle Song, Maxwell, every one of you guys made the show a very wonderful show. We really appreciate you joining us here at the Casa Podcast. Today, we just discovered some of the gems in movies that we felt deserve some more love, movies that we've watched that we feel everyone should see. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Once again, from us here at the tribe, it's
Bye.